Good morning, good afternoon, based on the location you are. So, as we have created a VPC, we have created a storage, and now it's time to show you how we can create the MySQL instance onto the AWS. So, in the demo, we are going to create the MySQL instance top onto the Oracle Cloud that we are using. Not only that, we will also go and create the services which is required for us for this demo. So we are starting with some prerequisites. So during the demo, we will guide you the step-by-step process to create the Amazon RDS for MySQL instance manually. We can able to do this via the CLI command. So AWS command line interface, we can use it. That could be the alternate option. But before configuring the application, the parameter is required for the cluster component. So we will do it that as well. And at the end of the lab, we will have a database cluster ready to be used, and we can able to get it there. So first thing, whenever you are connecting, you need a network as well as the storage. So here you can see in the previous demo what we have created. I have created a VPC for the DBA training, which is called the My VPC. So as of now, you can see, if I will click onto this VPC, so whatever the VPC I have, you can easily see we have created a VPC called DBAT VPC. And this VPC we are going to use into the entire training. This VPC, if you remember, we guided you while we were doing the Postgres database. So the separate one, either you can use different VPC for different type of resources. Why I always recommend like this? Because I don't know whom I want to give an access on which type of service. Mostly database we are keeping into the DMG zone. So DMG zone means where we are not directly internet access we are giving. So the secure we are giving. So no direct internet connections we allow over there. But here we are going to use the public internet, so you all can able to access the machine. Apart from that, we have already created a storage. So here we have created one bucket in Amazon S3, and you can see that my bucket is called DBT bucket. This we will use for the migration purpose. Whenever we are moving database from the on-premises to the cloud, in that case we can able to use it, and that is the way we can able to manage it. This is my own premises machine which we are using. Apart from that, we have a database running onto the other cloud, like on Microsoft Azure or maybe in Oracle Cloud, which I want to move for their platform to the AWS, or vice versa, from the AWS to the Oracle or AWS to the MySQL. So those all the scenario we have into the complete RDS training. Now in this scenario, what we are going to do? Basically, we are going to first create the MySQL instance. Similarly, like you have seen, we have created a Postgres and we have guided you entire in the details planning with the Postgres. So without taking much delay into this part, let me come to my console. And here in my console, I am going to use the service. Either you can click from here, service, go to their database, and from there you can able to see which database you are creating. Amazon provide you the database onto the EC2 instance, as well as Amazon have the capability which is called RDS. So relational database service they are offering. So in this demo, we are using the managed relational database service. There's a lots of difference with the RDS and the EC2 databases. I have already discussed these things theoretically. So simply you can review that one, what we have discussed into the, or you can recall what we have discussed over there. But as of now, as I guided you, we have created a one instance for Postgres. So this is my Postgres instance, which we have stopped as of now. Over there we have done the lots of things like high availability, clusters, upgrade, backup, restores, point-in-time recovery. Those all demo I have already shown you. So this is the time where we are going to MySQL. So once you are on this screen on RDS, you can able to click onto the DB instance. And once you are on DB instance, just you can see there is an option called create database. This create database, you can able to create the database from your new one which you require. Apart from that, if you want the existing database backup, if you have on your on-premises, that backup you have taken, backup you can keep into the S3 storage, and from there also you can able to create a database. So that is the not only for the this, but others also. So RDS will, as of now, offering you these are the flavors. So they have the Aurora for the MySQL. According to the AWS, the Aurora MySQL is better than the MySQL because they have customized it. So that will give you the better performance, better things. We will see that Aurora as well. Then Aurora PostgreSQL. Again, these MySQL copy they have done into the Aurora MySQL. The Postgres copy they have done into the PostgreSQL. So that's the main thing. But here always a challenge. What is the challenge? This is the completely open source. This is the propriety of the AWS. So as of now, it is supporting on RDS the 7 services for database: Oracle, MySQL, Postgres, SQL Server, and MariaDB. These 5, and they have MySQL, Aurora, and MySQL Postgres. So total 7 services for the RDS platform they are offering. If you remember in the last topic we have discussed, and over there we have used. So whenever you click on the create database, so you can able to get it. Now here you have to choose the database creation method. So this is the method. If you can see, we have a standard and we have a easy create. So whenever in a standard, then things will be changed. So in the standard method, you can customize as per your choice. Get my point? And apart from that, you have a easy method. So easy method will be always, it's for the like the test or dev environment when you are doing that case you can create. So I always recommend you, whenever you want a customization in your database, choose the standard. Whenever you want the as it is database, like as a template which is given that you want to use, you can use the easy create. So it's your choice. Based on that, you can choose which method you want. But if I will talk the standard, so you can choose the MySQL engine type and the engine option as per your choice. You can ensure the MySQL community edition you can use in your demo, because otherwise MySQL on AWS will provide you only the community edition, or you can use the Aurora MySQL. But if you are using the MySQL onto the AWS, it's a community as well as the Aurora, 2 flavor of MySQL you can get. The same MySQL, if you are using on Microsoft Azure, only community edition is there. Same MySQL if you are using on Google Cloud, only the community edition. But if you are using the MySQL into the Oracle Cloud, they will provide you the enterprise edition. Only Oracle is a vendor who provide you MySQL completely onto the platform Oracle Cloud, which is called the OCI. The earlier we called Oracle Cloud, which was now the old one from the last 5 years, that we call now Classic. And the newer edition, which is called the Gen 2, which is called OCI. So here, without much delay, let me go to the MySQL instance. I am creating here the basic MySQL instance, which is the most popular open source. You can read it. It has already given MySQL is the most popular open source database in the world. MySQL and RDS offer the rich feature of MySQL community edition. So as we discussed, it's a community edition. Now what we are going to do, we are going to use the community. Now here, when you come into the edition, so it is clearly saying MySQL community edition. If you want to read the more, you can click onto the here and you can able to choose the what you want. So issue and limitation, those all for the knowledge purpose you can get it. Here, if you want the MySQL support, the multi-AG DB cluster, then you can use it. If you want a version support for the Amazon RDS optimized writer, you can use it accordingly. But in my case, the latest version of MySQL, you can see 8034 is available, which is the, as of now, today, the latest. So that we are using. Now here, in this demo, you can choose MySQL based on your need, or you can customize it as per your choice. But by intentionally, I am choosing little bit lower version. Why I'm choosing the little bit lower version? Because I can able to easily show you the upgrade in the next topic whenever we are going to do. After that, there are lots of things we will do, and backup recovery and replication setting, those all. After that, we can go for the upgrade. That time I need a lower version to upgrade it. So instead of creating the another instance lower version, I can use the same version and I will upgrade it. That's why I'm choosing here 8028. Now we have a different environment. You can choose either the dev test or production, or maybe the free edition. So free edition will give you the less cost, but then they have the limitation of the database size, they have the limitation of the storage, CPU, those all. So let me go and choose my production environment. So whenever you will choose on production, then you can see here are different things is there. Availability and durability. So what availability and durability you want? You can see the multiple AGDB cluster, which is the new. If you want a multi-AGDB instance, so what happened? Whenever you are going to multi-AG database instance, that we have already discussed in the theory, single DB instance that we have already discussed. But if I can go for the dev and test, these things are automatically converted into single DB instance. Where in the production, default is AG cluster. So availability zone. And if you are going with a free tag, again, this will be not giving you any option. So you can see the option is not there. So that is the main difference, to use the particular template as per your choice. In my environment, we are just going to the production and we'll show you how it works. Here it is asking you your database name. Okay. So in the production, I'm choosing the single DB instance because I don't want to the most costly environment. So for this demo, only I'm using the single DB instance, and I'm giving my instance name MySQL. So DBT MySQL. This is my database name, DB identifier. So name of your DB instance. And make sure the name which you are giving, that should not be the same use over there in your RDS account with the particular region. So like the region we already discussed. So I am in the US East 2, if you can see here, and these are the region available for me, but I'm using the US East 2, which is the OU. So there I'm creating. Now this is my username. So you can choose the username as per your choice. You can able to use, or like I always use the username because you cannot use the default name. So I am giving the name called MyAdmin. If you can see, I am giving the username as a MyAdmin. Okay. Admin can be used, but root you can't use. So I always prefer, like the in Postgres you have seen, I have given the MyAdmin. Similarly, I can give here the MyAdmin. Now MyAdmin is my user, and here what I'm going to do, I am going to give my password as well. So manage master credential AWS secret manager. So if you remember in the Postgres, we have created a AWS secret manager, which is saying do you want to use the same user ID and password, you can give it. Otherwise, if you want the auto-generated password, you should choose the auto-generated password. But I don't want the auto-generated password. I want to give my password because I always prefer to secure the things as per my need. So here I am giving the password as per my choice. So I am giving the password. Let me go and copy my password from my notepad which I typed. So at least I can remember the thing, what the password I have given. And the same password I am using here. So I have given my password. Now, since my password is there, what I can do, here you can see, they have the different type of instance, like a standard class, where by default, the large you are getting. But this is just for a demo. I don't want much into this case. So what I can do, I can take the lower. For DB instance name, I have given. Whatever you need, you can give it accordingly. The master username, the administrator, or the MyAdmin, which I have given, a master password, and I have not auto-generated password. In instance configuration, by default, in the production, it is taking DB M6G, which is the large. And if you remember this instance type, we have already discussed it theoretically, not taking much time onto this. Let me go on to the very micro machine because I'm just going to further testing. So I have chosen the DBT3 micro because the cost will be less. So I have chosen this one. Now, if you can see, what is your storage? So here, if you can see the storage, which we have discussed, different type of storage, if you remember, so we can see IOPS, SSD is there, IO1, then GP2, GP3, then magnetic. And if you remember, we have already discussed these things earlier because it's depend on the cost. You can choose the cost. Okay. The minimum 100 GB you need to take into this. That's the one challenge you can get. If you are going with the GP2, you can check the minimum 20 GB. And the price for each storage is different. So you should choose the storage type as per your need, as per your business need. And you can choose it. And the minimum and maximum size you can easily read here. In this case, minimum 20 GB you can take and maximum 6 GB you can able to take. If you are using the GP2, so same. But if you are using the magnetic, which is the lower cost, and you can use the minimum 5 GB and maximum up to the 3 TB you can use. So depend on that storage, the IOPS and everything will be changed. But for this demo, what I'm going to do, I am using the GP2 with the 20 GB. That's good enough. Now, what happened? The auto scaling you can see. So I don't want the auto scaling. I don't need auto scaling basically. So because this is just for demo, but in the real life, quite possible your business is up and running. The application is pushing the data into that, and you need to update it. So you can able to use accordingly. So you can customize, you can get it. Now, the connectivity. So connectivity, how you want. Do you want connect to the EC2 compute resource, not from the public? You can use like this way. Okay. So connect to the EC2 compute resource only. Okay. If you don't want, don't connect to EC2 compute resource, so you can use don't connect to the EC2 compute resource, and you can choose it accordingly. Now, this all we have discussed in the theoretically, if you remember. Now let's talk about the network type. So IPv4 and dual stack mode, like IPv4 as well as IPv6. So you can choose according to your network. Most of the people are using still IPv4, but IPv6 is the more secure than the IPv4. So depend on your business need, you can choose it. And now it is the virtual private cloud. So by default, whenever you will create a resource, it will automatically take a default. But I don't want to, it should take the default. So what I can do, I can use the my virtual network. Got it? And here I am putting into the my network which we have created, DBAT VPC. And now DBAT VPC have the public and private. So where you want to create, which subnet group, those you can able to decide. If there is a need of the new subnet, you can able to use that one as well. Got it? So depend on your, you can choose whichever you want. Either you can use the like here, and then you can choose the subnet group accordingly, or you can create it. If you have not created a subnet group, so don't worry, it will create a new subnet group here. Now, what I'm going to do here, I am going to use the public access. Generally, we don't allow and we don't recommend that people can use the public. But why I'm using it? Because it's a very easy for you, the demo purpose. I don't want another EC2 instance. From there, I can connect it. So the cost-effective way, I am using the public access. Now, whenever we are taking the public access, so it is saying the VPC security group firewall, which you want. So existing VPC security file group, you can use the default. And availability zone, it is saying which availability zone you want. So like US East, if you remember the zone we talked, so have the each zone have the 3 availability domain. So which region you want to choose. So here I am putting in the US East 2A. See, if you are not choosing, automatically it will choose the one, maybe 2A, maybe 2B, maybe 2C, whichever the available that time with the list reload, that will take randomly. Now, considering that in the high ability, when you are going to do, that time it will use the another one. So here we are just using the 2A. After that, what I'm going to do, here I am going to use the my other component, which is for related to the my database. So let me come to the my database perspective. Here you can see the database authentication, how you want. Apart from that, if you want any additional configuration, like certificate, another thing you can see. If you want a different port, you all know theoretically we have discussed in the MySQL default port is 3306. If you don't want a 3306, you want to do something different, because I always recommend use a different port, because everyone know the default port. So they will try to, like the hackers or maybe some malfunctions, those malicious things will always try with the default port. So always I recommend use the default port. But since it is a demo, keep it there, default port, because within a day we are going to remove this instance. Because you all know, even this RDS training, we are using the multiple database, and each database I'm guiding you how you can do the high availability, how you can do backup, restore, clustering, so entire one. So within 8 hours, we will finish this entire one, and then we will delete it. The total cost for this project for the 1 day with all the licenses and everything will cost us $150. Okay. If you remember, in the initial stage, I told you very clearly, because we are using the different services. Here, we are using the Cloud9 desktop for connectivity. Apart from that, we are using the various other services. So that service will be cost to us. Okay. So typically, I always recommend either you can use very smartly this service, otherwise the cost will be more and more for you. So in the demo, we will use accordingly, we will choose properly. So this console, what we are going to do, we are going to use a different service and that can be used. So if you are using from your own or you are using from the cloud, it's your choice, and accordingly you can able to get it. Because here we are not only using the same, we will use lots of other things as well. So now what we are going to do. So you have seen these all configuration, and then if you can see the authentications I am using, how user can connect. If your machine or your company, the AD is authenticated, so I am authentication based, you want like AD based, you are single sign-on you are doing, similar way you want the IAM users can connect, so you can use this method, second method, password and the IAM both can be used. If you want only the password, you can use the password authentication. So in my demo, I am using the only password. If you want the password and IAM both, you can use that option, no problem at all. So as per your choice, you can do password and Kerbos authentication, that we have also discussed in the theoretically, what is the Kerbos and how it works. So those things. But here, just demo, we are using the password authentication. Now monitoring. So by default, the monitoring is selected. So if you want monitor, you can use it. If you don't want, you can skip this part. So, but for this demo in the future, we are going to use the multiple purpose I can use. And how you want. So like every 1 minute, monitoring rules. And if any additional configuration you want, you can give here like the encryption and other thing if you want in order. Then database parameter. So MySQL, if you are using the customized, you can use the database parameter. If you are not using, you can able to remove it. So depend on your business, you can choose this technique. Got it? So if you want automatic monitoring should be enabled, it could be possible, you can able to use it. The granularity, like we have given the 60 seconds, so we have to wait, but in the demo I can show you immediately the performance. So our monitoring, so we are using this one, and here monitoring rule you can use as a default. Now what I'm going to do here, the parameters you have to use, but as of now I don't have the parameter for MySQL. If you want, you can create a parameter, like here you can go and you can create your parameter group. As we have discussed in the theoretically, the parameter group will be very easy. You can able to customize your environment. Got it? And now database option. So initial database name, what you want. So I want like my team as a default database. So you can able to give it accordingly, and then you can able to use. Do you want automatic backup? So you can choose enable automatic backup. If you don't want, you should disable it. Later on also you can able to enable it. As per your choice, you can choose what you want. But in the real life, I always use the automatic backup. Now, whenever you are choosing the automatic backup, so basically retention, how many days you want. The minimum 1 day you can keep and the maximum 35 days. So let me choose the 1 day, because this is just for demo. We've got 2 day end of the day. We will remove entire instance. And then the snapshot which is taken, I can't able to do that one. Copy tag to snapshot. Yes, I want a snapshot for this, no problem. If you want encryption, you can use the encryption. Otherwise, you can able to decrypt it as per your choice. So whichever you want, you can choose it accordingly. Then this is the very important for the log, what you want. So if you remember, in your on-premises, when I was guiding, the audit log was there, the error log, the general log, slow query log. We have discussed this all in the details. So I am using all of them, audit log, error log, general log, and slow query log, because this will help me for maintenance purpose, and then we can able to use. Now, here, one thing you can keep, maintenance, enable auto minor version upgrade. Like if tomorrow the new feature is coming and the security patch is coming, or maybe the version 8.028 to 8.029 upgrade is required, then maintenance time they will automatically do. If you don't want, you can disable it. So it's completely your choice what you want. You can choose it. So here I'm using enable auto minor version upgrade, should be enabled. And then deletion protection. See, deletion protection will give you the option by mistake user cannot able to delete it. Generally in production environment, we always use a deletion protection, because what happened in the cloud, you can easily see people are using the console, click, 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 thing will happen. Quite possible some mistake they have done the delete. Instead of test instance, production they have deleted. That I don't want. If you are enabling it, that means instance cannot be deleted until unless you are not disabling the deletion protection. That's the main purpose. But this is just for demo, so I am disabling it. You can read here, protect the database from being deleted accidentally. While the option is enabled, you cannot delete the database. You can choose it as per your choice. But here I don't need. Now I am clicking on create database. So within 5 to 10 minutes, the instance will be created and everything will be work fine. This is the new advertisement, you can say, from the MySQL, because they have the now elastic cache cluster for the RDS. You can use it, and the RDS proxy. So this is the new things came. If you want, you can hide for 30 days, but I don't want to hide it, because I want to see what are the new features is coming. So as a trainer, I can evaluate it, I can get the things, and we can able to use. Now, meanwhile, you can see my database is now in development deployment mode. So here, if you can notice, it is creating. Got it? So DBT MySQL, it is in creating mode. So as of now, it is creating the instance, which will take a few minutes. And once done, you can, if you want, you can see the further. But instead of that, meanwhile, what I can do, I can show you on the on-premises, the source database which we have prepared. We can take the backup and then we can, or we will do it later as per your choice. Because during the migration, we are doing that one. So as of now, just keep into mind, we can use the different method for creating the instance. If any doubt, any questions anyone have, feel free to ask me. If anyone have any doubt, any question. Good. So let me see what is the status. It is creating, and it will be created in a few minutes. So meanwhile, you can see this Amazon, we can use the completely on the DB training. We have different services. You can choose it, the courses, and here, if you can go the different databases, you can choose. And not only that, you can able to use the RDS here. So be it Amazon Web Service, you can go, and then from there you can request, you can get the different. Not only the RDS, there's other training as well, like AWS Technical Essential, Architect on AWS, Advanced Architecting, Securities, those all are available. and different courses have the different type of fees. Accordingly, you can choose whichever you want and get it. So you all are going into 14 August batch. And our next upcoming batch is on 12 December. The classroom training we have in the November. And then this is the good thing, which is called training on demand. So our training on demand is completely you can able to get. And as I say, some people are saying the price is a little bit high. Definitely price is little bit high because we go very deep level. And as I told, for the one demo, our cost is approximately $150 we are paying for all of you. Okay. So accordingly, the price and everything. Then any other trainer, because here clearly the only experienced people, minimum 15-year experience people are providing you the training. So it's one of the reputed organization where 100% satisfaction guarantee is given. So if you can, whenever you have a time, you can go for that. So whoever will mentor, they have the minimum 15 years of hands-on experience, and they are all are the working. That's why the weekend you are getting the only training on Saturday and Sunday. So you can try it. This is just a demo for one of our webinar. Whenever you have a time, go through that. Right. So lots of clients, lots of things you can see. Our testimonial you can read. You can get all who have done. Not only that, well, very few is here, but if you can go on to our Google, there you can find lots and lots of others. Like if you can go on the debate training review, you can clearly see the what is our ranking. So most of the people are very satisfied. Of course, at the end of your training also, we will ask your review. Got it? So whenever you have a time, like many of you have come via this, and they ask me, Rajiv, we come to know about you. So we need only Rajiv as a trainer. Of course, not only Rajiv, whoever the trainer in the debate training, they all are the well qualified. Out of 34 trainer, everyone is working with the different MNCs. They all are the well qualified, knowledgeable person, and they are using. So my database creation is completed successfully. Now the final step, you can see they are taking the backup. I thought why not we can give you some input onto this. So everyone, I hope your account is also created, who all have created a MySQL database. Please ping on the chat, or you can message what is your status, how much percentage is completed. Okay. Once it is done, meanwhile you can note down while it is coming for connectivity purpose. I want to take the end point. So I'm just taking my end point into my notepad. Because I am going to connect this. So let me note that MySQL endpoint, and then the connectivity purpose, you need to allow the inbound rule. The particular port should be accessed, otherwise it won't be accessible. So here you can see we have a inbound rule security group. Either you can go onto the security group, and then security group you can design the inbound rule not only for this, maybe for other service if you want. This is the one way you can able to use. You can go to the edit inbound rule, and you can allow whom you want. So you can add a rule like I want for the MySQL, directly I can connect to the MySQL. and default port, then which IP. So I want the my IP only, allow to connect, and automatically my IP is taken because I'm going to connect to this instance MySQL from DBA localhost. DBA training localhost. I'm going to connect. I'm just putting into the save the rule. Of course, any one of you want to access this from your machine, let me know. This is the one way you can do, or alternate way, directly you can go into this, and here you can also able to use it. So we'll talk it that one as well. The outbound rule, whom you want, you can able to do accordingly. But as of now, I am not going with this. Hope you all understood the concept. Let me see my database status. So still it is in the backup. Once it is ready, we can show you the connectivity from our on-premises machine. So we will connect from this machine. We have a MySQL client. From there we can connect, or we can use the MySQL workbench. From there we can able to connect. So whichever the way you want, maybe if you have an on-premises workbench tool, from there you can connect, or you can connect with your EC2 instance, or you can connect with your local host where MySQL client is running. So MySQL workbench also we can able to guide you, we can able to use it. So meanwhile, let me go and see my status of the MySQL. Once it is done, we can able to do. Now the backup is completed. It is into modify stage. So it is the final picture it is taking. It is modifying it. And once everything is done, this color will be changed as a green as a level. So you can see it like that. So you all have created a MySQL instance. That's working fine. Just let me go, and once it is done, you can see the status and everything will be coming to the picture. So here multi-AG I have not done. That's what you can know. Which BPC, so those one, maintenance, no. These all things you can able to see. Keep it there. Once done, I can able to guide you that one as well. Now you can see the status is available. That means this service is up and running, and we can able to connect from our client machine. But before that, let me click into that. You can see here the status is available. Which version of MySQL you have used? So MySQL community engines, and you can also able to see in your configuration all the things. So the engine is 8028, which we have used for this company's connections. You can CloudWatch, you can able to see the audit, error, general log, slow query log, which I have guided you. That one. So these all you can able to see. Now, one thing you can keep into mind, the main thing is that you need for test the lab is working or not, you need to capture your endpoint MySQL, which I have already taken. So here, whenever you can go to your MySQL, you can see the endpoint. So this is the endpoint through that we can connect it. Hope you all have understood the concept. So let's everyone create your instance. Yeah, I know your instance is almost completed. They are also taking the backup. So it still will take 5 to 10 minutes. So what I can suggest you, just have a 10-minute break, and then we can go for the connections. Meanwhile, I assume you all have completed the task for the MySQL instance creation. So then we can able to use it for connectivity and other thing. Thank you all. Enjoy your tea break. Just go and enjoy your tea. Bye-bye. Take care. So we'll catch you after 10 minutes. Meanwhile, I can also complete my coffee. Thank you.